the all-important must-have for 2012 is this: making Barack Obama a one-term president. Right? Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! You may know that the president of China is named Hu. His name is President Hu. And with all the money that we owe China, I think we might rightly say, who's your daddy?
They've been suggesting that the only responsible thing to do is just vote to raise the debt limit. Let me tell you, I think the most irresponsible thing we can do is to vote to simply raise the debt limit and then continue business as usual. We've got to push back against this accelerating government control and encroachment on our freedom and our economy. For instance, we've got to stop this health care bill. We've got to repeal this thing. We cannot give up this fight.
Let me discuss how President Obama could move to the center, could be bipartisan, and could be invited to keynote CPAC. There are 7 steps. There are 7 steps. We just convinced every liberal of what they've always feared. I think there are 7 steps to the center for Obama. First, sign the repeal of Obamacare. 2, sign tort reform for doctors. He said the other night he'd like to do it. Let's let him do it. The Congress should pass him, based on Texas and other reforms, the strongest possible tort reform bill, and let him become president no by explaining he didn't actually mean what he said, because if he'd said what he said, he wouldn't have actually meant it, because he couldn't actually mean it, because that's why he needs to trial lawyers. So we should have understood that he actually meant something else he forgot to say, because the teleprompter wasn't working at that moment, and it's not his fault. 3, sign the permanent repeal of the death tax. 4th, sign a new Hyde Amendment so no taxpayer money funds abortion in the United States. 5th, sign a new Paul Ryan-drafted conservative budget act to control spending and move to a balanced budget. 6th, sign a law to decisively control the border now. 7th, sign a 10th Amendment Implementation Act returning power from Washington to the states and to the people thereof. This is not about shipping it from Washington to Atlanta or Washington to Sacramento. Remember, the amendment actually says, and the people thereof. So the power ought to go back to local people, local communities, and then they can decide what they want to give to state government. I want to suggest that CPAC do something very bold. And let me say, by the way, for those liberals who think 2010 was the peak, the fact that we have 2,000 more registrants this year ought to tell them, oh no, 2010 was the appetizer. 2012 is the entree. So what I'm going to say is so bold, I just want to ask you to hear me out before you react. I want us to offer President Obama the opportunity to be the keynote speaker at CPAC in 2012, if he earns it.